So the other day, I came across a rather interesting news article talking about, damn it, give me a second. There we go. So the other day, I came across a rather interesting news article talking about how Singaporeans are now falling further and further into credit card debt. So what happened was that just 5 years ago, the rollover balance used to be around $5 billion. But right after the pandemic lockdown ended, people be like, spend more money that I don't have. As a result, you can see that credit card rollover balance has gone up to a record high of $7.92 billion now. But why did this happen? Was it caused by some deep socio-economic issues like recession, rise in unemployment, or high inflation? So even though Singapore's economy did slow down, it didn't enter into a recession. And while we saw news after news after news of people getting laid off, Singapore's unemployment rate remains low. And 60% of people who were retrenched found jobs within 6 months after being retrenched. Though, admittedly, this percentage was a little lower as compared to the previous years. And while Singapore's inflation rate did shoot up 2 years ago, it has come down by a lot since then.
See? It's because of high inflation.
Not really. Over the past 5 years, it was found that household income growth has outpaced household expenditure growth. So, while prices did go up by a lot, household income also went up as well. So, there isn't any deep socio-economic issues that is causing credit card rollover balance to go up. So, what is causing it to go up then? I think this girl puts it best.
Yeah, as an addiction, I would say the unnecessary spendings because there are extra things that I will feel good after spending it.
Full respect to her for admitting this in public. Basically, some people are spending money to make themselves feel good. Like,
I work so hard. I deserve to pamper myself by spending the money that I don't have.
And the way they do that is by using credit cards or buy now, pay later services, both of which have very low barriers of entry. For example, in order to qualify for a credit card, all you need is just to be at least 21 years old, earn a decent $30,000 annual income, and tada! You can almost instantly get a card that allows you to spend up to 4 times your monthly income. Like you earn $3,000 every month, have zero savings in your savings account? No worries. Click apply and ding, you immediately get $12,000 spending power. And it can certainly feel very shocked, like the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Then you go kaching, kaching, kaching and land yourself into crippling debts. But how bad is this situation right now? Sibei bad. Check this out. In 2022, it was found that only 73% of consumers paid their monthly credit card balances in full, which means there's a whopping 27% of people who don't pay the full amount. This number has actually gone up from 2020, where back then there were only 18% of people who don't pay the balance in full. Though, probably it was because back then there was a lockdown and they have fewer ways to YOLO their money away. This number is even scarier in OCBC's latest Financial Wellness Index, where it found that almost 30% of credit card holders only pay the minimum sum. Not just that, OCBC also found that 18% of people are spending beyond their means to keep up with their peers. And this is even worse among those who are in their 20s, where the percentage of people doing so has gone from 15% all the way to 27% now. And while UOB and OCBC reported no significant change in delinquency rates, someone also pointed out that it's also possible that consumers are using buy now pay later to drag out the loan repayment, which could make things worse, as this encourages the buy first and think later mentality. Quick pause. If you are looking for the cheapest broker to start your investing journey, check out Interactive Brokers. It has the lowest fees for stocks, ETFs, options, and more. Not just that, Interactive Brokers lets you easily research stocks. Like, you want to check out companies' financials? Here it is. You want to check out analyst ratings? Here's a bunch of them. It even has free technical insights which tells you where the stock might possibly go next. So sign up to Interactive Brokers today, and let's get back to the video. I think the biggest reason someone would even dare to go into credit card debt is because they are largely unaware of the fees involved. Like,
I just owe the bank a few days only, ma.
Or,
I got paid the minimum balance, ma. How bad can it be?
Quite bad. I'm talking like it could even turn you into a Squid Game contestant kind of bad. Here's why. First, the moment you fail to make the minimum payment, the bank will first slap you with a $100 late payment fee. Then you'll be subjected to around 27.8% per annum interest that will compound on a daily basis. Then, if you still don't want to make the minimum payment, the bank will select on another 3% interest in the next statement date. So let's just say you go spend $600 on this not so cute looking Labubu and you only make the minimum payment each month. You will incur a total of $111.13 in interest, meaning this Labubu doesn't just cost $600, it actually costs $711. And this is just assuming you only spend $600 haul. In reality, the average consumer balance for unsecured credit cards is a lot higher. So let's say you go spend $10,000 on Labubus. Yes, it's possible. Someone has done that. And you only make the minimum payment. It will cost you over $9,000 worth of interest over 5 years, which means your Labubus better be freaking made of gold. Otherwise, you will be gong paying almost 100% more for no good reason. But perhaps what's insidious isn't just the fact that you owe the bank money, but also how much you are taking away from your future self. So rather than paying that $10,000 interest to the bank, if you had just invested that $10,000 today, 30 years later, with an average return of 10%, this money would turn into $175,000. So in a way, you didn't just lose $10,000, but rather you lost $175,000 of your future money. This means you have to work more years, delay your retirement, while also having to downgrade your retirement lifestyle just because you couldn't control your spending when you were younger. So how can you avoid credit card debt? Don't spend money that you don't have, lol. Okay, I know while this sounds like common sense to some people, it's not so common sense to others. So first things first, if you find yourself having credit card debts, chop, pay it off. But if you don't have the money, don't worry. Thankfully, there are a few ways you can go about this. One, you can check out something called Debt Consolidation Plan. This lets you transfer all your debts to one financial institute, which will pay off all your debt obligations on your behalf. Then, you will repay your total debt to this new institution instead. Depending on how much you owe and the payment length, you could lower the effective interest rates down to as low as 6+%. Yes, 6+% is still high, but it's way better than having to pay 27.8% interest that compounds daily. Or two, you can do something called balance transfer. A balance transfer is basically a short-term loan that comes with 0% interest for either 6 or 12 months. All you need to pay is a one-time admin fee. And as long as you repay your entire balance transfer within the interest-free period, you do not have to pay any interest charges. Otherwise, if you need help with your debt, don't come find me. Go find Credit Counseling Singapore, who will give you financial guidance on how to manage your debt. But then, is there any way you can prevent yourself from going into crippling credit card debt other than, spend within your means? Speaking of debit cards, I came across this article the other day. The writer says that, damn it. The writer says that she doesn't own a credit card and will never need one. That's because she's uncomfortable with the idea of spending money that she actually does not have. I totally respect that, and I bet she's one of those rare Singaporeans who pay for an entire HDB using only cash and CPF. Jokes aside, she shares that the reason she doesn't use credit cards is because she finds it a bother to chase rewards and discounts, and instead, she uses her bank debit card for her expenses, including when she travels overseas. And in case her card details are stolen, all she needs to do is to notify the bank right away to lock the card and raise a dispute over the unauthorized charges. I don't know where to start here, but let's try. 1. While it's true that using debit card will sort of prevent you from spending the money that you don't have, the issue with debit cards is that whoever has your card will also have direct access to your money. So in the event your card details get stolen, he or she will get to spend all the money in your account. So while you can raise a dispute, the bank may take quite a while to investigate, during which you won't be able to spend any money in your account because there's no money in your account to spend. 2. Not all credit cards require you to chase rewards and discounts. In fact, you can even just go for one of the simplest cards in town, like the Mari credit card, which straight up gives you 1.7% cashback on your local spend without having to bother about minimum spend, cashback cap, nor annual fee. Plus, there's a time-limited promotional 5% cashback when you use instant checkout on Shopee. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. 3. While it's convenient to use a debit card to spend overseas, there is a rather high 3.25% foreign currency fee, and the bank's conversion rates may not be as good as many other specialized multi-currency cards out there, like Instagram Amaze and Mari Credit Card. So with that being said, here are some more practical tips on how you can control your credit card spending. 1. If you are a beginner to credit cards, just go for simpler cards. You don't have to optimize every bit of your spending right at the start. You spend less than $500 a month, the Mari credit card is a fast, free, simple card to use that gives you 1.7% cashback. Spend more than $500 a month? Consider using the UOB One card to get anywhere between 3.33% all the way to 10% cashback every quarter. And no, you don't have to chase after the rewards. Just spend as per normal and you will get your cashbacks automatically. After that, once you are familiar with your cards and you feel that you are ready to explore more, you can then start exploring other options. 2. Treat your credit card as your debit card. And by that, I mean if you spend $1,000 on your card, you better make sure you have $1,000 in your account. Or if you spend $20,000 on your card, make sure you have $20,000 in your account. One method I've seen people do is every week they log into their bank accounts and immediately pay off what they owe. Like you spend $100 this week, pay off. Spend $200 next week, pay off. That way, you won't owe any credit card debt. Otherwise, if you feel it's too fun to log in every week, another way is to call up the bank to sync up all your credit card statement date to say 15th of every month. Then every month on the 15th, just go manually pay your cards one by one. 3. Set up gyro payments so that even if you forget to pay your card, the bank can still automatically deduct the money straight from your bank account. That way, you won't accidentally miss any payments. So let's say you have a UOB card. All you need to do is to look for the interbank gyro form, download it, print it out, fill it, and mail it to the bank. Yes, I know this mailing technology is a little ancient, but that is the best that we have right now. Lastly, if you still don't trust yourself to be disciplined enough, one way is to reduce your spending limits so that you can't overspend. To do that, log into your accounts, look for your card, and you should see something like payment controls. Then set a monthly spending limit there. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hopefully, you found it useful. Like, share, and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.